The charges against Ryan Reilly and Wesley Lowery are so dumb. It's true. They're so dumb.
They're dumb.
This all stems from the situation a year ago where they were arrested in a McDonald's in Ferguson, and they were released and no charges were filed until last week.
They were released
like literally a year ago.
They were released in a matter of hours because people were like,
Yeah.
why'd you arrest 2 reporters in a McDonald's? That's dumb.
So tell me why the charges are so dumb, which I agree with you, but that's for people who aren't familiar.
Well, my assessment of the charges, at first blush, you know they're dumb already.
Yeah.
But this is based on a reading of their 33-page investigative report that the police put together sometime after the fact, describing what went down in the McDonald's. Mm-hmm. And this is where you will learn that these charges are profoundly dumb. They're not just dumb on a superficial, obvious level. And the document... And
dumb to the core.
The document talks about what's going on, and it says that the new Black Panthers were in town, that anarchists and communists were there, and their misbehavior in the McDonald's directly contributed. The misbehavior of the reporters, who were the only people in the McDonald's, directly contributed to this period of civil unrest.
Whoa!
So this was after they had killed Michael Brown, who was unarmed, and pointed their sniper rifles at people in broad daylight.
Yeah, and brought literal tanks out into the streets of Ferguson.
Right, so they themselves, there was an escalating anger at them for the killing, and then it seemed to most observers that what they were doing in response to the occasionally violent protests was making everything even worse, because this is a police brutality outrage, and they were piling more police overreaction on top of that. So anyway, they go into the McDonald's and they're establishing a skirmish line outside, and they hear all these groups are in town and they believe things are going to get worse. So they tell the McDonald's, you should close. And they come back and they say, okay, well, now we want you to close even faster, and we need your customers to leave. And they claim that the manager at the McDonald's requested their assistance in getting the customers out. And so they tell Ryan Reilly and Wesley Lowery, who are customers and who are using the McDonald's as a base of operations. Yeah. You can plug in, you get Wi-Fi, and they can file their stories. And Wesley Lowery and Ryan Reilly didn't say, no, we won't go. They started packing up. And these cops in riot gear are going, no, go now, faster. And they don't go fast enough. And that's what it says in the document, that Mr. Reilly was moving his belongings about in an inefficacious manner. So Officer McCann packed his bag for him. And then he arrested him. And
it's insane. It's crazy. And the thing is, we can talk about this and we can have this conversation because these are reporters and they can bring this out into the light.
Yes.
Right? But imagine how many people are getting totally screwed by charges like this.
Yeah, so maybe it's understandable. The police were upset. They're worried about what's going on. These reporters aren't moving fast enough. So they arrested them. So they let them go.
Right.
And that could have been the end of it.
Right.
And that was essentially an editorial in the Washington Post. And fine.
Yeah.
So they thought about it for almost an entire year.
Yeah.
And the statute of limitations is approaching. And they're like, we got to get this.
Got to do something.
We got to get these trespassing charges out.
That thing that's long gone and far in the past, we need to bring that up again.
And so they brought just waves of criticism on themselves from everybody. It's unanimous.
What happens to them now?
They're going to have a hearing. It had been scheduled for next week. It might be postponed. And another question, other reporters, will other people be getting charged? Is this just something they're getting to after they arrested all these people and they're trying to beat the statute of limitations? But it's not going. Nothing that happens now will change the fact that this was dumb.